Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to another Burlingame It's a Small Town podcast, sponsored by the Burlingame Historical Society. This is Mark Lucchese, also known as Mark at the Mic, and my guest today believes in being reborn. In her mid-30s, after a constant struggle with her weight, she was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. Faced with this life-changing challenge, she elected to skip the surgery and chemo and fight cancer through stress management, a nutritional plan, and fitness. On her 39th birthday, not only had she beat cancer, she was certified as a fitness instructor. Through this journey, she emerged as a stronger, healthier person, or as she says, she was reborn. Who is she? My guest today is Kat Lopez, owner of Reborn Fitness, located at 1111 Howard Avenue, Burlingame, directly behind Runner's High Running Store. Kat Stevens. Kat Lopez, Kat Stevens. Kat, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
You bet. I've been looking forward to doing this.
Same.
I want to mention that this is going to be the 11th episode in my Women in Business series.
Love it.
Yeah, I do too. It's been great. Been a great ride for that.
Thank you for helping elevate us.
Absolutely. So, Kat, I'm just wondering, is Kat short for Catherine?
So funny you say this. I have a little bit of story as to my name, so thank you for that. So it was Catherine. It was.
It was Catherine.
It was Catherine. So I turned 50. I'm proud of that 3 years ago, and I had a long laundry list of all the things that I wanted to do. Nothing against the name Catherine,
right.
But it was never anything. It was never a name I identify with. Even when I was younger, I would put down my name. Anything else but Catherine. I just always hated it. But everybody always called me Kat. I was always Kat. I'd introduce myself. I'm Kat Meow. Kat Meow. So people will remember it's Kat with a C.
I love it.
And then, I truly believe in being your authentic self. So 3 years ago, I said, I'm going to legally change my name to Kat. So I went to court, didn't realize how expensive it was.
Yeah.
But I ended up just going for it, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
So it is Kat. Kat is my legal name.
So the expense is probably the biggest part of it, or does it take a long process to
process, change passport, change social security, change credit card,
driver's license.
But like I said, when I'm all or nothing.
Good for you.
When I'm in, I'm in.
Good for you.
And I decided that's what I'm going to do. So it is Kat.
All right, Kat
Thanks
Lopez. Let's roll with that.
Sure.
In my intro, I mentioned that I said your shop is behind Runner's High. And it's really Runner's Mind.
Runner's Mind.
Yeah.
It's a Runner's Mind.
Yes.
So short arm is what we call it. So yes.
I love it. Great. So that's where the shop is. But I also mentioned that, you had thyroid cancer.
Yes, I
right?
did. Graves' disease, also known as Graves' disease.
Graves?
Graves. So
Graves,
grave, like going into the grave.
I got you, yeah.
Graves'
right.
disease. Yeah.
But you passed on cancer surgery and chemo.
I did.
Okay,
I did.
I have to say, that's a pretty ballsy move, right?
Well, you're talking to a ballsy person. So there you go.
When you decided to do that, what did the doctors say?
They looked at me like I was crazy. But I'm used to that all my life, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The reason for that is, surgery, if you really have to do it. So the one thing with me, I'm very in tune with my body, and I can just tell something was wrong. So luckily for me, this unfortunately not everybody has this option. We caught it early. So I had the option of opting out of chemo and radiation and all that stuff. So, right away, they just said, hey, this is what we're going to do. And I said, what are my other options? Are there any?
Yeah.
And they said, well, medicine, back and forth. So mix a cocktail of medication is what they call it. But it's a longer process. And I said, I just refuse getting opened up for anything. If I have a choice to treat it differently, I will. Because I feel like the minute you open up your body, something else can go wrong.
Absolutely.
And I just didn't want to do that. Okay. So I said, well, what else can I do? So besides the medication, besides the medication, there's also stress management. There's also your nutrition. I don't like to call it diet, and we can get into that later. So your nutrition and also your exercise. So I said, well, I can do all those things, and so I ended up it took me about 2 years to go back and forth with the medication, but eventually it stabilized. And then I was working out a lot more. And then I think at the end of that, that's when I, as you mentioned, felt reborn. And I said, I think I want to share my story with with the rest of the world, whoever is welcome to it, and start my own company. So that's where it started.
Were you doing any training, any individual training or group training during this time?
Nope.
So you got your fitness license when you were 39.
Yes.
And that's when you decided to begin this journey then.
Correct. So I was in my mid-30s when I was going through a thyroid, and then the only exercise I was doing was going to classes, doing my own thing, going to the gym.
Right.
But people saw the transformation that happened with me, and they said, you should be an instructor. I was like, you're crazy. I don't want to be instructor. It's like,
Right.
you should share your story. So that's when I decided on 39, I said, you know what? I am going to get certified.
Okay.
So I started doing the group fitness, and that's what I did.
And did you start at a shop like maybe Equinox or 24-Hour Fitness? Or
So at first it was 24-Hour Fitness. I was a member, and then eventually ended up being instructor there.
Yeah.
So I was also at Equinox at the time, and then became an instructor there as well. So that's before I started Reborn Fitness in 2016. I was an instructor for a few local gyms.
Yeah.
Also, PJCC in Foster City was another one.
So you weren't doing those, were you doing those all at one time, or did you work from Equinox and then went to 24 and then went to the JCC?
There was a point where they overlapped, to be honest with
Really?
you. Yeah. And then at one point I decided, that it was too much because I also had a day job, I think it started with 24-Hour Fitness, and then Equinox, and then PJCC ended up being Equinox up until 2020.
Yeah, but you mentioned you had a day job, so were you doing a lot of these things in the evening
Yes.
then and on weekends, or what?
Yes, pretty much going every day. So
Wow.
I'd work all day, and I'd do this in the evenings and in the weekends. So
Yeah.
I just loved it, and I was passionate about it, and it was a release for me, so I just kept doing it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Before we move on, I just want to know, as far as your thyroid now, it's all under control?
Well, so it was.
Okay.
I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I mentioned the day job. Unfortunately, I got hit with layoffs, like unfortunately so many people in California right now, or just all over.
Yes.
So I mentioned in the very beginning stress management as
Yeah.
part of that. Needless to say, being out of work is stressful. So my condition came back. And we diagnosed it earlier this year. And as I mentioned, because I'm very much in tune with my body, I can tell something was wrong. So I went to the doctor, and had it tested, and sure enough, it was off the charts. But before then, every year we would check it.
You were checking
We were checking
yearly?
it yearly, and then everything
Were you
was
on
fine.
any kind of medication during that time?
No, not
Okay.
at all. So I only took the medication for the first 2 years, and it stabilized. And what stabilized it, just moving forward, was exercise and nutrition.
Okay.
And then the big stress hit me, and then it came back. So now I'm back on medication.
So you're on medication now, and will you have more checkups than once a year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So right now it's every 4 weeks. Luckily my body, because I take care of myself, the medication is responding really well.
Good for
so
you.
it started with a high dosage, went out to the lowest dosage in just 2 months.
Wow.
So, yeah, I know. Health is scary. So
Okay.
that's why, we can end this by saying, you really have to be an advocate for yourself. Doctors are great, don't get me wrong, but you really have to be in tune with your body and advocate for yourself. Go to the doctors and say, hey, something does not feel right.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was just menopause, to be
Right.
perfectly honest with you.
Right.
But I was like, no, something else is wrong. But I went in the doctor and said, can you check my thyroid again? Sure enough,
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Okay, so
yeah.
that journey kind of starts over again in a
Correct.
sense.
Yeah, but I feel like because I know I've been through it, I can self-regulate. I can go, I feel like the medication is too much. I go to the doctor, they test it. It's like, you're right. So, but I feel like this time around, because I've been on this horse before,
Yeah.
I know how to ride it better.
Good for you.
So, yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to go back to Equinox, JCC, and 24-Hour Fitness.
Absolutely.
Did you say to yourself, okay, I have enough of working for somebody. I'm going to find a studio and do this on my own? How did your studio come about?
Yeah, in a nutshell, yes. So we mentioned our day job, and that day job is DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. So I've been in that space for the last 10 years.
Okay.
So as I mentioned also with my name, being my authentic self is truly important. So I felt that not a knock, and I'm not knocking Equinox 24 hours in PJCZ. I'm very grateful the experience that I've had in all those 3 places. But what I did not see in all those places is the inclusive environment. If anything, I felt like it was the exact opposite. It was the exclusive. I felt like, especially for women, I felt like if you didn't wear the right clothes, or it was just so disheartening to me when I see women, they feel like they have to wear a certain brand of clothing, I'm not going to name it, and then you have to wear makeup and you have to fix your hair to go to the gym, or you can't even take a class until you lose weight first. It's baffling to me, you know. So just, I don't care if you show up in your ratty favorite shirt that has holes, but if you're putting in the work, it doesn't matter. So I just had enough of that. And then I said, and I was experiencing myself, to be honest with you. I got additional certifications. I felt like I was pigeonholed into certain class format when I knew I can do more. And I wasn't given any of those chances, and also my age. I'm gonna just put it out there.
Right.
I'm old. I'm 53. So, well, I'm old in age, but not. I'm young in spirit.
I'm looking over at my buddy Ray, who's videoing this, and Ray, that's
like,
old, huh? 53 is old. Okay, yeah, 53.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right, Kat.
but again, going
But I
back
get what
to
you're saying.
Do you know what I mean? And
Yes.
so I said, you know what? And also, this has always been me. When I see that opportunities are not being created for me, I'll create it for myself.
Okay.
And so I'm grateful and also lucky that I have a vast network, really, truly lucky in different industries, that I have. And so I just asked around if there's a place around here. And Liz, Monty Kelleher's, so got a shout out to Kelleher family.
Absolutely.
Grateful for the Kelleher family.
They're the owners of Runners.
They are the owners of Runner's Mind.
Right.
And so, yes, the Runner's Mind. They've been around Burlingame for a really, really long time. But Liz Kelleher, wife of Monty Kelleher, used to take my classes on Equinox, and was chatting with her. And I said, we have the space in the back, and also we can start in the store. When the store closed, you can teach your classes there, because originally it was dance. So I said, sure. Let's give it a shot. So, that's why I will forever be grateful, because they gave me that chance. Started out with one class on a Monday. As soon as the store closed, they moved all the shelves. We danced there. Even the staff was there dancing with us.
When you say dancing, what kind of
Zumba.
dance? Zumba.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
That's okay.
Zumba.
Zumba.
So, yeah,
right.
So that's how I first started. It was dance.
And this goes back how many years ago?
So I started teaching Zumba in 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, and so going back a little bit, that has always been my dream, is to be a dancer. But I have strict parents, and they said you cannot make a living in being a dancer.
Right. Okay.
Watch me now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's how it started. And then it started with one class, and then there was that space in the back, and I said, I can do other class format. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Cleaned up the space back there, with the help of the Arm family, and next thing you know, it was 2 classes, and then 3 classes, and then 4 classes.
All while you're still working, right?
Yes, all while I'm still working.
Yeah.
And then most recently, about 2 years ago, because people have been asking me if I do personal training. Mm-hmm. And I said, actually, I don't, to be perfectly honest with you, I thought I would actually be bored, because I love the group workout and it's more energy. But I said, you know what, let's do it, and absolutely love it now. So I not only do group workouts, but I also do one-on-one personal training.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And for our listeners out there, I visited your shop last week, and it's pretty cool back there. You got a lot going on. So I'm just wondering then, there's all these fitness trends that are going on nowadays, right? There's kickboxing, there's Zumba, kettlebells, boxing.
Yes.
HIIT workouts, which is
Yes.
high intensity training.
Correct.
How do you incorporate all that kind of stuff?
So I focus on functional training. What that is using kind of our everyday movements and turning it into exercises. You know, because a lot of people traditionally they think, okay, I'm going to exercise. I'm going to grab some dumbbells. I'm going to stand. I'm going to do some bicycles. Okay, now I'm going to do some squats. Not that we don't do that, but there's certain movements. Even somebody who is just maybe someone coming from an injury or something, just starting to get into it. Sit down on the chair. Now get up. Sit down in the chair. Get up. Okay, now sit on the wall. You wouldn't even think those are exercises, but those are one of functional examples of functional training.
Right.
You don't need equipment. You can use your own body weight. People especially women, are afraid of lifting that weight. Oh, I don't want to get I don't want to get bulky. You're not. And so that's what I specialize on.
Yeah, because when I visited, you had a plethora of things there. You had the kettlebells, you had the dumbbells,
Yes.
you were ready to box.
Yes.
Right? You had the ropes, you had everything going on, which
Yes, I
is
did.
pretty cool. Do you have group lessons where it's just ladies only, or do you have co-ed group lessons? How does all that work?
Yeah, it's all co-ed. Fortunately, most of them, I do have men as well, but most of my clients, most of my members are women.
Yeah.
And I find that they come to me because they can be themselves.
Yeah.
And then and as I mentioned before, most women are conscious, and so with my environment, they're not.
So they can be a little bit more relaxed in their attire. They don't have to have the latest brand names. They can come in, whatever their sweats and stuff like
Correct.
that. Don't have to worry about putting their hair up and
Correct.
makeup. They can feel comfortable around you, right?
Absolutely. Well, not only that, also the space, you saw it.
Yeah.
It's private, if you will, because the problem sometimes with these gyms, those classes, they're in a glass
Right, so everybody can
room,
peek in and see what's going on. Yeah.
and that doesn't happen here. So it's actually good and bad because it's back there, so nobody knows it's back there.
Right.
But it's good once you're there. You have no idea, what we're doing out there. So
I
the same
know.
goes with my personal training. It's just me and you training.
Yeah, that's
so there's
great.
nobody looking at you. So you can just quote unquote, nobody can see me, but you can quote unquote fail. And then it's just me, your coach, that are there. So you don't have to be conscious about it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So there's Equinox, 24-hour fitness, there's Crunch, there's other trainers in town. What separates you from everybody else?
Personal touch. Everything to me is personalized. Everything is customized. I know everyone's names. One of those, you won't get this as other gyms. If they no-show, they don't show up, the mom instinct comes out of me. It's like, are they okay? Did something happen?
Yeah.
I will text them
Great.
and say, hey, saw that you didn't show up. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that you're okay. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. So
Right.
they're just shocked about that.
Yeah.
And also, I also realized this is as I mentioned, most of my members are women. This is their hour of a release. So I find I use comic relief when teaching classes. So as I'm teaching, I'm talking to them. I'm telling jokes. I'm entertaining. I'm telling stories. So they forget about their workout. So it's not just like, playing the music and we're just going through the motions and I'm yelling at them. No, it truly is, hey, we're hanging out with a bunch of our friends that are working out together.
Yeah. Do you have any age requirements?
Gosh, no. I have clients right now from 16. Actually, she just turned 16. So she was 15 just a couple weeks ago, from 16 to 76.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and so that's you ask what makes me makes our space special is I don't care if you're just starting. I don't care if you're injured. You're coming out from injury. I don't care if you're an elite athlete. My workout is designed for everybody. I will modify movements so you can do something. Some people can't jump. Don't jump.
Yeah.
I can show you something else. So it just
Great.
really, I just really focus on you are here and you're accepted and you can do whatever you want.
You really customize it to the individual.
Absolutely. And I watch them, I look at them and I correct their form and I get thanked for that all the time. They're like, appreciate you for actually correcting your form. It's like, well, I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Great.
I don't want you to go in as fast as you can. Just I always tell them, do 2 reps.
Yeah.
Do 2 reps correctly instead of 20 reps, and then most of them are crap.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So you're teaching group individual lessons, right?
Yes.
You're currently out of work, probably looking for something. But in the meantime, can you sort of take me through a typical day in your life? Like, what time do you get up? What happens throughout the day?
Sure. What I love about my day is it's not the same every day. So I can have a client at 6 that day. I can have a client at 7.
Will you start that early?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So I have clients, they prefer, especially the older ones, they like to do it early, because that's when they like to do more
when
things.
They've got some energy,
yeah,
probably.
So
right?
let's just say, a typical day where I have a 7:30, PT client. Usually get up about 5:45. I can't just get up and go. I have my morning routine that I do, and I want my cup of coffee. I want my, overnight oats and all that stuff. Feed my cat, all that stuff. Yes, cat has a cat.
Cat has a cat, yeah.
Her name is Tracy. Sorry, fun fact. When I adopted her, her name was Cat.
Oh, you switched the name?
There's only one cat. Yeah,
right.
There's only one cat. I'm
no
just kidding.
competition in this house, right?
So, anyways, I do my daily thing, and then usually, I'll have a couple of clients in the morning, and then go back, home, at this time, whether it's interviews, hopefully, looking for jobs or networking, huge on that. And then I'll go back. Usually I have a session in the afternoon as well. So I'll do a session maybe about 4:30, and then right after my afternoon session, PT session, I have a class, and because I teach Monday through Wednesday, and I have a 6 p.m. class, so I'm doing that. So I usually don't get home. Earliest I get home during those nights is 7:30.
Right.
I don't meal prep, but I know what I'm gonna eat pretty much. Every night, and then. Watch my shows. I like Family Feud. Catch up on my shows and everything. And I try to be in bed by 10 to 11. So.
Yeah. So maybe get about 6, 7, 8 hours worth of sleep.
I'm good with 5 as long as it's straight.
Okay, good.
So if I get too much, I'm too lazy.
Yeah. So I took this quote off your website, and it said that, let's see here. 80% of abs is made 80% of abs is made in the kitchen. Your nutrition is key. Do you offer nutritional advice?
I do not. I am not a licensed nutritionist. But with that said, I do offer advice on what's worked for me. And it's funny to me, that quote. I'm laughing because I get so many people that come to me. Okay, I have 3 months. I want, 6-pack abs. I'm like, so do I. So do I.
Yeah.
It's like, if I can figure that out, I'd be a billionaire by now. But, so I did have a 6-pack abs, but those days consisted of 2 to 3 hours in the gym and 1,200 calories a day.
Yeah.
Do you want to eat 1,200 calories a day?
You got to really shred down for that stuff.
So you have to really put in the work. And I keep reminding people that. So set realistic, expectations for yourself. And also, what is really 6-pack abs? I mean, it looks great.
Yeah.
But unless you're getting paid to be an Instagram model, whatever it is, or you're in the magazines, do we really need it?
Right.
I like my margarita and, occasional burritos.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But to answer your point, no, I do not.
Okay.
But I can make some recommendations on, I know some people who are in that business and can offer official advice. But right now I just offer what worked for me.
And what worked for you? Great.
Yeah.
And what worked for you must have worked pretty good.
Well, I'll do okay. I was 80 pounds heavier at some point.
Yeah.
And that was the thyroid, by the way.
I was going to ask, was that the thyroid
Yes.
or just because you were partying too much or something like that? No, it was the thyroid.
Yes, it was the thyroid. I couldn't figure out why I was yo-yoing in my weight, but it was the thyroid.
Yeah.
Because that's what controls your metabolism, in case people don't know what that is. So.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have any thoughts on protein powders, supplements, and bars?
With these things, it's a preference, to be honest with you. What works for you. But what I like to tell people, when people ask me, what protein, protein powder do you eat? And I say, I eat my protein. I don't drink my protein. You can get your protein from many other sources than drinking, but people prefer the shake because they're on the go and they just want to put something in there. So to me, as long as you're not eating processed food, and the food is healthy and it's real food, I like to call it, not like frozen stuff where there's preservatives and that can add to all that. It's whatever works for you. So occasionally, I have done protein shakes, but I eat my food.
Good
I
for
don't
you.
drink my food.
Okay.
I drink my water.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Are you drinking
all the time?
All the time, yeah.
You see this? You all can see it, but
Absolutely.
I've got a 40-ounce water bottle that I carry around. I probably fill that about 5 times in a day.
And it says cat.
And it says cat.
I love it. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so, how many days a week are you currently running your shop? Are you there every day, or do you take a Sunday off or Saturday or something like that?
Well, Sunday's my golf day.
Okay, good.
So I take that off.
That's your release.
That is my release. And I work out on my own, so that's my release too. And that Sunday off didn't happen just until I think just last year. I was hanging out with some of my friends, and it didn't occur to me that I didn't have a day off. Because I used to teach on Sundays.
Right.
So yeah, you had, the Monday through Friday day job, but then Saturday I always taught, Sunday I always taught.
Yeah, so it's 7 days.
It was 7 days, and I was like, what was I doing? So finally I stopped teaching on Sunday, so now I golf on Sundays, but pretty much I'm at Runner's Mind almost every day, because if I'm not teaching a class, I'm doing a personal training session.
Right. When you're golfing, are you golfing with some friends? Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, I've been talking a lot. So, we've got a golf crew,
Great.
and so I love that because you're out there, you're walking, and also you get to meet other people. So yes, we have a golf crew.
It feels good. So that's how you get a little bit of work-life balance, I guess, right?
And you need that. You can't just go.
Yeah.
It's not good for your mental health and your physical health. Your body needs rest. Yeah. Absolutely.
So there you are. Your studio's in the back of Runner's Mind, a terrific running store.
Yes.
Do you do any kind of events with them, or do you guys have any special programs, or do you do anything on your own without them, or a conjunction? Do you know what I mean?
For sure. So as I know, it's not even a promo. It's just a part of our regular offering, if you will. If you train with me, whether that's personal training or take my classes, you get a discount at the store. I believe it's 10%.
Great.
I can't remember, but they will tell you. So there's an actual code that's just specific for my classes.
Great.
And then just most recently, I actually partnered with them to host a class specifically for runners.
Great.
Runners, they run miles and miles and miles, every week. And so one of my classes is actually Monday class. It's called Crash Core. It's pure core strengthening class, and so it's made for runners. If you strengthen your core, your legs, you can actually become an even better runner. So I partner with them, like that all the time. And also sometime in the past, we've also done some kind of charity drive, if you will. At one point we had some clothing drives that, we had people, donating then, and then we'll donate it to a nonprofit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm always trying to do events with them. They have that annual Gobble Wobble event.
Oh, is that Thanksgiving?
That's a Thanksgiving run.
Right,
so
right.
I've, been there where I provide stretching.
Got it.
For the runners and everything. But yeah, Runner's Mind, I do a lot of things with them all the time. So.
All right, good for you.
Yeah.
Hey, Zumba classes. I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Is Zumba just ladies? Is it just guys show up for Zumba?
Absolutely. I have a lot of men.
Okay.
That actually take the classes that I've lost weight.
I'm not even sure what Zumba is. I'm gonna have to go to YouTube and look up a Zumba class and take a look at that.
Well, let me actually tell you really quick. So what I love about teaching Zumba, when we choreograph a Zumba routine, it's just five moves that you repeat over and over. It's not it's not a dance class where you have to be a really dance certificate. So it's just moving.
Yeah.
You should try it. I know they have it at I don't teach it anymore.
I'm going to check it out before I try it. Okay. Yeah. Mark is not ready to go live in front of anybody with that right
maybe
now.
We can do a tutorial here.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? How about a success story or two of some of your clients?
Yeah. Well, most recent one, he's longtime friend, mentor, former colleague. So his name is Ben. He broke his knee 2 years ago.
Wow.
It was, we were all working from home during COVID and everything. And then so when he finally went back to, went to the office, he was walking to the restroom, slipped, fell on his knee, broke it.
That is painful.
Yeah, so he's around our age too, as you know. Recovery time doesn't, and so he was bedridden for a while, after surgery and everything. So he lost a lot of his, mobility with his legs and everything. So he went through physical therapy, so PT, not personal training, but physical therapy to get him to finally moving. So February last year, he came to me. He can barely do a squat. You can barely stand, and everything. But we persisted. We kept going and everything. And, baby steps, as you will. So I gave him exercises to kind of ease him back into it. And then now he's deadlifting 200 pounds.
My gosh,
He
good.
ran a 5K.
Good.
He ran a 10K.
Wow.
And just celebrated his 50th birthday. And he's taking a break right now. And actually, as of next week, we're going to, kick back up our sessions and everything. So
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I have so many other ones, but that's one that are recent. And I'm super proud of him. And, anything can happen with consistency.
Oh, I bet.
And he was consistent. I mean, there are days there's like, I'm so tired, I can't do the work. But he was there.
Yeah.
And then it showed.
Consistency is the key.
Absolutely.
You can't stop, start. You're not going to get anywhere. That's
6
for
weeks.
sure.
You got to give. So in order for you to see any kind of, difference,
Right.
transformation,
You have to make
6
the commitment.
weeks. So it's not 2 weeks here, break, 2 weeks there.
Yeah.
6 weeks
and
straight.
the nutrition's part of it. You're just not
Absolutely.
working out, but you're watching what you're eating.
And resting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So sometimes, what advice would you give to a person that kind of wants to take a class but's a little nervous about
know.
it? How do you coax them into that kind of thing?
Take that first step.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just get off the couch, and I offer a free class. So if you're new,
Good, that's nice.
I offer a free class, and then I also I'm constantly putting campaigns out there. I think we had one where if you bring a friend, you get a discount, that
Great.
sort of thing. So I'm always doing that, and I know it's hard. And then sometimes bringing a friend makes a difference. So
Yeah.
you're not there by yourself.
Right.
And I always love it when I see couples going together and then, or best friends or whatever. So just bring a friend. And if not, I can be your friend.
That's
in
great.
that class, and I will be there, coach you.
Great.
All I ask is that when you come and it's your, first class, and you tell me, hey, this is my first class. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Then I will be right there with you to make sure you're comfortable for that experience.
Terrific.
Yeah.
You do a pretty good job with your social media.
I try.
Yeah.
I try. Oh, I forgot to mention, you asked me a day in the life while I'm having my dinner. I do my posting.
Okay, because I was going to ask you who's doing that for you.
Me.
You're doing it.
I'm a
You're doing a
one-woman
really nice
show.
job with it. Yeah.
I don't sit idle well.
And how does somebody find you on Instagram?
So Reborn Fitness 650, because somebody else already had Reborn Fitness, I had to add the zip code 650. So that's my Instagram. I also have a website, same thing, www.rebornfitness650.com.
Are you on Facebook?
No.
Okay.
I can barely do Instagram.
I know. But you're posting a lot. You
I
got
try.
a lot, quite a
try.
few posts on there.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are humorous.
I try.
Yeah.
I try. I think you saw that challenge that we did.
Yep, I did. It was great.
Yeah.
Who was shooting that? Did you just add somebody to film that for you or what?
No, a tripod.
Good for you.
That's my assistant.
That's great. Good
Yeah.
stuff. And why don't we tell our listeners once again where you're located in Burlingame?
Yes. So I am located in the back space of A Runner's Mine. It's on 1111 Howard Avenue in Burlingame. You cannot miss it. It's a big green building, and hope to see you there soon.
What are your hours?
Oh, okay. So Monday through Wednesday, my class, I teach a 6 to 7 class. So, all of my classes are an hour. And then Saturday mornings, I teach a class at 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock. So those are my 3 classes. Monday is a pure core. It's a low impact class, meaning we don't do any jumping. So it's pure core strengthening. Tuesday and Saturday mornings are HIIT classes. Saturday evenings,
High intensity.
Those are HIIT classes. And then Wednesday is my boxing circuit class.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really fun. The boxing, it's not only boxing, it's circuit classes. That's when we get to do the battle ropes, the sledgehammer.
That's great. That's
the med
really
balls.
working the heart rate.
I love it.
Yeah.
People sometimes after a long day, they just want to hit stuff. and throw stuff. And this is the space, to have it. And if you're not sure if, this is the place for you, check out the stuff that I have on my website.
Right.
And then also just email me, rebornfitness650@gmail.com. Happy, if you want to just tour the place, happy to do that as well with you.
Yeah.
So.
Kat Lopez, thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Meow.
You bet. Meow.
Take care.
I'd like to thank Kat Lopez, owner of Reborn Fitness, for being my guest today on Burlingame. It's a small town podcast sponsored by the Burlingame Historical Society. Thanks to Kathy and Shelby Lucchese for editing and producing, the great Ray Tyler for video, original music by Bray. You can hear more of Bray at braymusic.com. This podcast was recorded on Thursday, May 16th, 2024 at the Burlingame Public Library. The Burlingame Historical Society copyrights this recording, and no part can be copied or replayed without the permission of the Burlingame Historical Society. So until next time, everyone, see you around Burlingame. It's a small town.